to my very first sit-down YouTube video. A few weeks ago, I went to a TeamTall meetup in London. For those of you that don't know, TeamTall is an empowering and supportive community created for your taller than average ladies, and the event in London was hosted by the wonderful Sally, who I met and actually consider her to be a friend now. Please check out my previous vlog titled TeamTall, a tall girls party. So I wanted to make it interesting, and I took along with me this black book. I used it as an icebreaker to get to know people and mingle. And what I did, when I introduced myself to the ladies, I asked them to answer 3 questions for me. And the questions were, the best thing for them about being tall, the worst thing for them about being tall, and lastly, the advice that they would give to their younger self. And the reason I've done now, I'll give you my background. I'm 6'1". I've been 6'1" for as long as I can remember, around the 13, 14. So in school, I was taller than all the girls, I was taller than most of the boys, I was even taller than half the teachers. So, it was really difficult for me to fit in. There was just no one really my height, girls anyway, and I suppose at that age you wanted to fit in. I come from a tall family, and bless my parents, they've done an amazing job in me embracing my height, especially my mother. She would always tell me, stop trying to blend in, you were born to stand out, and I did. However, when I came out from, came outside my family life and I was out there with my friends, I wanted to be like everyone else and blend in. And I feel that, had there been a platform such as this back when I was growing up, it would have helped me embrace my height a lot sooner and handled a lot of the challenges that came up my way a lot better. Don't get me wrong, I had a great school life. So I wanted to use this platform and just cast like a wider net and reach out to any young girls out there that's struggling with their height, haven't quite grown into their own, or even women that haven't really quite embraced their height. If this video can help them hold their head up high and stand tall and walk confidently, then that's a positive movement. I'm slightly conscious this video will be too long, so I'm going to break it up in 2 parts. Part 1, I'm going to go through the best and worst thing about being tall, and conclude in part 2 with the advice that you would give your younger self, and end it on a positive note. So get comfortable, grab a drink, and come walk with me in some tall girl's shoes. Hey Karen, if you're watching, and I think Karen didn't write down her height, but I think she's about 6'1", 6'2", I remember from our conversation. Now she says the best thing for her about being tall is that you make a powerful first impression because you stand out. I hear that, girl. And for me, I've always, like I said, I've been 6'1" since the age of 13, so I'm used to standing out. And I think making that impression comes from you just owning who you are and carrying your height really well. I remember, obviously, before I gained confidence from my height, I would always kind of just try and walk into a room and sneak in, hoping no one would see me. But I'm 6'1", people are gonna see me. And my mum would always say to me, just walk in with your head up high and own who you are. People are gonna look, so own it. So you do make an impression. So it's best if you can just walk in instead of just trying to sneak in. And then worst thing for Karen about being tall, she said clothing, and occasionally prejudice on dating someone shorter. And she says she doesn't have an issue with that, for the record. You go, girl. Clothing, I've been really lucky with clothing. I must say, I've never really struggled. I've always managed to find dresses that are long enough, trousers, jeans. One thing that I probably do struggle with is sleeves of clothes. Sometimes, they come up about here, and I do try and make it work, but if it's really that short, then I just don't buy it. And I want to cover Karen's point about prejudice on dating someone shorter. From my experience, I've dated shorter guys, than me. I've dated taller guys, and no matter who you date, people are always going to say something. When I was dating shorter guys, they didn't have a problem with it, but everybody else did, and we would get, oh, isn't it weird that, your girl's taller than you? Then when I dated the taller guys, people are like, oh, you're going to have giant kids. No matter who you date, people are going to say, so don't let height and what other people, think make you miss out a dating experience, or finding love or being with someone. If you two have that connection and you get on, you like each other, it's nothing, honestly. Next we have Ziggy. Ziggy is 6 foot, and she says the best thing for her about being tall, you can always find the best way through the crowd. I know that one. Again, I have to use myself here. It's quite funny because I've always been tall. I was that kid that my parents never lost me in the supermarket. We'd be walking along, and me as a child, I'd probably run off to, the sweet aisle, and my mum never panicked. She'd be like, oh, look, oh, there she is. Come back. So yes, you always stand out in a crowd and people always see you. We have one here from Claudia, who's 5'10.5", and she says the best thing about being tall is there's no hiding for you, and the worst thing is there's no hiding for you. Why would you want to hide anyway? I mean, yes, when you're tall, it's really, difficult to hide, or like I said, earlier on, sneak into anywhere. And to be honest, why would you want to hide anyway? Like, one of my advice is, go see the world and let the world see you. So thanks, Claudia. And she says the worst thing is not a lot of flattering clothing out there. This has given me an idea to do come shopping with me. She's so style at 6'1", because I've never really struggled with clothes. I always find what works and what doesn't. Honestly, I haven't struggled. And of course, with online shopping in this day and age, and maybe living in London, I've just never had an issue. Might do a video on that. So thanks, Shay, for that one. Next we have Marsha. Marsha's so cute. She came with her mum and they were just fabulous. Hey Marsha, if you're watching. Marsha's 6'2", and her best thing about being tall, she says, I love that being tall helps me put the tall model look together. I have now learned to embrace the attention that comes with dressing up and wearing heels. You go, girl. That's one thing I need to work on, wearing heels. Yes, again, when you are tall, like us, you do carry clothes really quite nice and elegantly, and I suppose the longer limbs help you do that. So yes, the supermodel look, I try that too sometimes. Marsha says the worst thing for her is always bending for pictures and not being catered for on the high street. Also, always being directed to the online store, being asked if I play basketball, netball, or can I reach the things on the top shelf. My gosh, Marsha, you ticked a lot on that one. And it's true, if I just break it down quickly, always bending down for pictures. That's right, girls, all my friends are similar size of like 5'2", 5'3", so when I take a picture with them, I always have to bend down and fit in. And I realise that I don't look good doing that. So what I do, I take a lot of my selfies myself. And for that reason, actually, on my wedding day, I didn't have any bridesmaids because it was my day and I didn't want to be bending down and fitting in a picture of my friends. And then Marsha also say, not being catered for on the high street. And I think I can relate to this one. I've been to a couple of high street stores and they do tour section, but they never have it in store. They always tell you to go back online, which is a pain because again, you see it online, you order it, it might not work or fit. Whereas if it's in the shop, you can try it on. Well, I suppose that's what we have to do. And then she said, being asked if I play. Yes, this is me. Girl, you play basketball? I'm like, no. Netball? No. Volleyball? No, I play no balls at all. And I suppose it just comes with height. They could ask you worse things. So I think it's not that bad. Just smile and say, no, I don't. And that one's for Marsha. Thanks, Marsha. It's always that there's just no role models. And yes, I get that. And it depends. For my case, again, I'm sorry that I have to keep relating back to my case, but I can only use my experience. My mother was, I think my mum was what, 5'7", 5'8", and in her days that was quite tall. So probably everything that I've gone through, she's gone through. So she was able to lead me. And one thing my mum used to, I can still remember it now. When I was younger, I used to always walk with my head down. She would slap me on my back, so I would stand up and hold my head up high. So she was my role model. And I think it's all about finding the best example that you can for yourself and use it to your advantage. And this person didn't write down their name, but they're 6'3". And she says, best thing about being tall is that there are very few people on earth like me. I love being me. Round of applause, round of applause. You go, girl. It is so true. And again, it goes back to what my mother used to tell me when I would, I was so desperate to be like my friends. She would always say to me, stop trying to blend in. You were born to stand out, so own it. You are different, you are unique. So, and that's why I've come up with my own hashtag of embrace your difference. Your height is what makes you different. Own it, embrace who you are, and once you embrace it, you actually get to enjoy your height. So yes, well done. Such a shame this person didn't leave their name, but no, that's so true. And she also says the worst thing for her about being tall is something question from strangers about my height, like she hears it every day, like 1,000 times a day. And I suppose, again, this is probably another video, but I would love to do a video that, questions that you would get if you're a tall girl. And again, I don't mind people saying to me, how tall are you? I used to mind, but I've kind of grown to welcome it. And I'll tell you one thing, if I hear someone turn around and say something to me like, oh, she's tall, I always make a point of telling them, yes, I am. I'm 6'1". because that might be the first time they've seen someone that tall. It doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. It's just to them, they've probably never seen it. And it's true, we're few and we're unique, so why not welcome that and just share it with people? So yeah, when people say to you, oh my god, that girl's tall, say yes I am, I'm 6'1". Say your height, and the moment you say it out loud and you own it and you know it, you actually feel good about it. So yeah, that's that one. And hey Sophie, by the way, if you're watching, Sophie says the best thing for her about being tall is being at concerts. Again, I suppose because you're tall, you can get to see further down and see more, so that's a great thing. And then she says the worst thing is finding clothes. Again, Sophie, you need to be checking my blogs and you need to be checking my previous videos, because I honestly have no issues finding clothes. And I must admit, this has given me the inspiration now to do a separate video about where I shop as a tall girl, because honestly, if I show you my wardrobe, I've been okay. I've been absolutely fine finding clothes. So again, thank you, Sophie. Next, we have Linda, who's 6'2". And Linda says, best thing for her about being tall is having the best view. Again, I agree with that. You can always see and you'll always be saying, Sally, hey Sally girl, hope you're watching my video. And as always, thank you for your support. Sally's 6'2" and she's put here, best thing, tall guide and TeamTall community. I have to clap to that. Absolutely. Again, when I was growing up and in my bedroom thinking I was the tallest girl in the world, it would have helped me so much if I had something like the TeamTall back then, to connect with people and know that no, you're not alone, Shireen. Yes, you're tall, but there's millions of people out there like you. So yes, that is the best thing, being able to relate and connect with you guys, all because we're tall. It's amazing. It's really, really a positive thing. And then Sally says the worst thing is life before TeamTall. Oh bless her, which is exactly what I covered. Had I not had this before, yes, I was confident about my height, but having TeamTall just helps you know that there's people you can share stories with and relate and help, and vice versa. So yes, we love TeamTall. And Lauren says the worst thing is the unwelcome attention I can receive. Yeah, again, it boils down to what I was saying before. There's good attention and there's bad attention, but you know what, all attention is good at the end of the day, because those people that give you bad attention, they noticed you. So it is what it is. And here we've got Sassy. Sassy is 5'11", and she says the best thing about being tall is that I feel it is my USP, which is unique selling points, I think, amongst my friend. Again, it was the same, because I had a great school life and I've got great friends, and I've always been known as the tall one. And I was happy to be known as the tall one, because in a group you had the pretty one, the cute one, the intelligent one, this one. I was the tall one. That was different, so I was fine to own that. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and watching my video. I truly hope that you got something out of it, and I'd love to hear your best and worst thing about being tall. So please comment below. And of course, any advice that you would give your younger self, I'd love to hear it. I want to wrap this video up on a positive note and say that if you hate yourself, you're going to have a miserable life. Whereas if you love yourself, there's no stopping you. So embrace your difference, which is my hashtag. If your height is what makes you different, embrace it. It's really not that bad being the tallest person. Please like, comment below, all that good stuff. And I'll see you in my next video. Please keep an eye out for part 2. Thank you so much.